morning, folks. Welcome to Do Whatever You Want to Do, as long as it ain't to me. Well, that's the position that our police state has taken. I came across this little thing right here, and I mean, okay, look, you got somebody shooting out of a house. All right, it's going to get damaged. They're going to tear your place up. All right, it's just the way it is. But this looks a little ridiculous to me. I mean, this is what I call overkill. All right, it ain't like Al Qaeda was up in there, and we sent in that hero. What the heck is the dog's name? It ain't like we sent that in there, you know, to get out, Al bag of weedakari, bag of weedakari, bag of dope-akari, whatever. But this is kind of funny. I mean, you know, they kick your door in, they'll break your front window, and they'll throw a bomb in there, and they'll go get you. You know, a flashbang. Or they'll break your windows and pardon me. That is very foul. Don't care what anybody says, but anyway, they'll throw some tear gas through your window. They'll go get you, but not this guy. This guy must have had a rocket launcher and some grenade launchers or something, because this is ridiculous. Watch this. Check this out.
Constitution. So Lex family sued the city, saying without compensation, the city of Greenwood Village and police were violating their rights under the takings clause, which requires just compensation for taking private property for public use. But the courts so far have argued that's not what's happening here.
Under absolutely no circumstances should a government agency be allowed to blow up somebody's home, throw them out in the street, render them homeless, and just walk away from it in any civilized society.
According to the 17-page ruling from the U.S. 10th Circuit Court of Appeals, the judge says this is police power, which would give officers a right to use private property for the protection of public health, safety, and welfare without compensation.
What happened to us is a third world. By any stretch of the imagination, it's completely third world.
But tell that to the man who says he's now out hundreds of thousands of dollars.
Look at they did, man.
At 60, now I've got loans.
Leo Lex says his homeowner's insurance paid for a lot of the damage, but
that's
still
hilarious.
So I got $345,000 from the insurance. The fair market value of the house, because we've done comps, was about $540,000.
Most citizens would be shocked to hear that if the police destroy your house during a law enforcement action, that they aren't liable to compensate you.
9 News legal analyst Scott Robinson says no court has ever ruled police are liable for damage done while enforcing the law.
They only have one remedy left, and that's to seek a review by the United States Supreme Court.
This cannot go on in this country.
Look, it ain't about, to me,
The same thing we do.
it's not about,
knowing the Supreme Court only reviews a small amount of cases.
it's not about whether or not the police have the right to damage your home when there's some nonsense going on in there. Okay, like I don't know what happened. I don't know about this case. I don't know if they went there to recover a gun, or if the guy started shooting out of the house, or I don't know what happened there. But if that's one guy they were looking for, they completely destroyed this house. I mean, there's no possibility. Look at the hole in the front there, where they just tore indiscriminately, tore the walls down. They're lucky that it didn't collapse. You know, but what I don't see are bullet holes. Do you see any bullet holes? Because I haven't seen any bullet holes yet. I don't see one bullet hole. So
Had a lot more to say. You can see our full interview with him in this article.
They just came right down on it.
And the likelihood of
with that big ramrod truck.
Scott Robinson says if the Supreme Court is to ever pick up a case of this nature.
So anyway, welcome to Get High and Preach. This is the first mournful day that we have without Frosty the Snowman anymore. He won't be coming back, apparently. It was He used shotgun shells full of salt and just went off on his family. Horrible. Horrible. And then I don't know how they figured out. Apparently, he got the shotgun from one of Santa Claus' elves. Santa Claus is armed to the teeth. I don't know if you guys know that. Apparently, he's been working for the cartels for some time. They found him. He had been storing 200 plus pounds of heroin in his sleigh when they found it. So can you imagine how much heroin he was delivering Christmas Eve in a vehicle that can travel at light speed? I mean, it just could be tons. I mean, he could be responsible for the world's entire drug trade single-handedly, you know. So kids, I just wanted to warn you, look, this year, if you catch Santa Claus in your house, kick him out, man, because he's probably there to give your parents some dope. You know what I mean? You don't want your mom and dad high on Christmas, right? So don't let Santa Claus in. You see a Santa Claus? Now, I came across yesterday, and I don't know why they made I came across, I think this has to do with the drug dealing thing. There was a not white Santa Claus, which is, you know, would be just fine with me, but I think that it just goes to point toward the stereotype that all drug dealers are black. So, you know, personally, look, I never, my parents told me that lie about Santa Claus. We never told our children to lie about Santa Claus because, you know, I didn't see Santa Claus kissing mommy. I saw Santa Claus kissing the dog one night when I came downstairs. And they were going at it pretty well, and I started screaming, and he just magically disappeared. We didn't have a chimney or anything. And the dog looked kind of dazed also, like, what was just going on? I don't know what's happening here right now, but I do know that not too long after that, the dog jumped through our front window and had to be taken to the Humane Society, where my mother told us that he was going to become a police dog and he was going to sniff out bombs. Right. Good one, Mom. They put that dog down like a dog. You know, we had a cat too once. You know, that cat, Smokey. My brother and I caught him on the train tracks a few miles from the house. We were probably 6 and 7, somewhere around that age. And we catch this feral kitten. And we put it between two crates and, you know, put our hands through the end of the crate handles. And carried that cat home. And I'm going to tell you what that cat shredded our hands. That cat destroyed us, but we would not let him go. We were crying when we got home, bleeding. But we got us a kitten. Yes, we did. We caught us a wild kitten. We thought that's how they came up. You know, we didn't know that people had kittens and they gave you a kitten. We believed that they were all wild and you had to capture your own. So we catch the kitten, bring it home, name it Smokey, great cat. And, you know, Smokey did what Smokey does. You know, cats poop, and my mother wouldn't clean the kitty litter, and we tried to clean it. It was a big pan, and it was always heavy and disgusting, you know, kitty litter back then, and it wasn't the same kitty litter technology that we have right now. It was different. And, well, my mom got rid of the cat, and she said, well, there's a cat lady over in Germantown, and we're going to take the cat over to the cat lady. So we get the cat in the car. Cat's not stupid. Cat knows something's going on. Get the cat in the car. We drive over there. And I said, Mom, let me take her to the door. No, she likes to collect them. He'll go there by himself. And so, you know, she opens up the door. Cats do what cats do when they're in a car. They take off. They run like hell. So, anyhow, so I'm no stranger to tragedy. And this one is just a little more than I'm able to bear because, Frosty and I were not friends or anything. I never met him. But I've heard good things about him. I heard he had this wonderful hat that all the kids got absolutely nothing from. He was totally... Actually, Frosty was never a good guy. When you think about it, for real. I mean, with that magic hat, he could have cured cancer. He could have cured AIDS. He could have cured anything. He could have healed all the little boys and girls. That little girl with the crutches, he could have healed her with that hat. But he wanted to live more than he wanted to heal the children. Typical Christmas lore. Think about Santa Claus, though, for a second. Think about his humble beginnings before aliens gave him a time machine to deliver all those toys. He was a pedophile. Santa Claus was a straight pedophile. He would go up on your roof at night and drop things down your chimney for your children while you were sleeping. So that sounds just like someone I know named his name. I'm going to use an alias here because it's illegal to use someone's real name. Jeremy Wade. That sounds just like him, sneaking into children's rooms at night and delivering things that they sure as hell didn't want. So Santa Claus and Jeremy Wade apparently are on the same level. By the way, there's a man with the alias Jeremy Wade. And I'm not happy about this. You know why I feel bad? Because of his children. Because there's 2 more children out there that we, as fathers, are abandoning. There's 2 generations of children walking our streets that had no fathers to encourage them, to lead them, to strengthen them, to show them the right way to live, because we didn't have fathers. That our fathers were trash. All my father was concerned with was beating us into some kind of a weird submission, and that's how we received our attention through negativity. So naturally, that's what we sought, negative attention. And that's what your children are going to seek. So, if you treat them with negativity, and that's all they know, when they grow up, they're going to be negative, and they're going to seek negative attention. They're going to go to prison, or they're going to become institutionalized. I personally, yes, I was institutionalized. I may still be institutionalized. It would be easier for me to go to jail. Go back to prison, not have to deal with any of this stuff. My children don't even call me for Thanksgiving. Not that I care. I mean, maybe I do care because I said something. But, birthday goes by. No phone call, no card. Thanksgiving goes by, no nothing. Nothing. But hands are out. Definitely. Which I don't mind, but Christmas is canceled this year because, first we got a homicidal snowman, and then, of course, we have a drug dealing... What is Santa Claus? Is he an elf? Or... Oh, that's the other thing. It turns out those weren't elves. Those were children. They were freshly supplied children from India, probably. I can't say where all of their all the denominations, but apparently the aliens that gave him the spaceship to deliver the toys with also supplied him with children to make those toys. This is a pretty deep conspiracy when you look at it. And it's whole in the whole thing because the cartels are involved with space creatures now. Apparently this is some really deep stuff that we're going to investigate. We're not going to let it go because we don't do that here. We're Cohens. Remember that? Cohens. So, yeah. If you're expecting Santa Claus this year, forget it. You better make your mom and dad go buy you some presents. And, make them buy you something nice too. Demand a Corvette or a Porsche or something like that. Because apparently if you left Santa Claus the right thing, he would leave you a Corvette. Now, I guess that also Jeffrey Epstein ties into that, because apparently that little girl left some cheese for Santa Claus, and Santa Claus left a whole lot of stuff, Corvettes and stuff like that. So we need to look into that now, because Santa Claus had in his possession like 22,000 stolen children, What happened to the other children, though? Apparently, the children, once you hit a certain age, you were ground up into beef, chuck. Anyway, you were ground up and they ate you. You were fed to the other children. They were taught Dothraki. They thought that was actually Elvish. They believed they were elves too, until they started getting their facial hair and talking in deeper voices, and realized that the pointed ears that they had were rubber. And that's when you were disposed of. So, parents, it's about time to tell your children the truth this year.